Well, Donald Trump, the Antichrist, part 19. Welcome, everybody. Wow. Tenet. So this will be Donald Trump, Antichrist, part 19, Tenet in all caps. That would be the big movie coming out. It's already got an 8.6 rating. We know that 86 stands for to get rid of something, to eliminate something. I don't see how it could have a rating, though I guess some people that are reviewing it are critics or those that have been able to get on there and give it a score. I read some reviews and they were horrible, and some were good. What you're looking at here is a word, of course, that is spelled frontwards and backwards the same. And to me, because we all have an abstract way of looking at things, we all have an abstract brain that looks at things differently. To me, I see a 10-10, which, so for me, excuse me. All right, I had to go clear my throat and then got into about 20 other different things, household chores. So I don't remember where I left off. So let's just go. Armed with only one word, tenet. And I think I might have left off around October 10th because it's 10-10. I don't know, that's the first thing that pops into my head. And fighting for the survival of the entire world. Now, as y'all know, if you've been following me, I'm very biblical about my approach. If it doesn't go by way of the Bible, then throw it out. So a vaccine changing your DNA and being the mark of the beast is about the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Because we all know that the mark of the beast occurs after the Antichrist, at and or after, when the Antichrist, who has risen or survived a deadly wound, so received a deadly wound by the sword, but did live, is either verbatim or paraphrasingly said 3 times in the 666 chapter of the Word of God, which is Revelation 13, also known as the beast out of the sea, Revelation 13:1. So in my Donald Trump the Antichrist videos, there's a lot of sea references, and there's another one here. I just listened to somebody break the movie down, a professional, but you know, he's of their world, and so he could be giving you cryptic clues, which that's what they do. The QAnon people, surprisingly, they're on the other end of the spectrum. QAnon teaches them, oh, you got to follow clues. This is all about clues. This is all about gematria, and and it's all about symbols. Sure enough, all the symbols, all the gematria, everything points to Donald Trump being the Antichrist, and they can't see it. They see Donald Trump as being the only thing to separate us from the evil of the world. Precisely, which is why he will be removed. Received a deadly wound by the sword, but did live. So whether it's Trump or whoever, they have to have risen or have reappeared. And I've shown you all that. They've already shown you a reappearance of the Emperor in the final Star Wars. Palpatine, the Emperor, was back. And they said cloning, dark sciences. The Siths knew how to do it. There you go. The 2 Trumps, if you've been paying attention to my videos. Angel White's always done a great job with giving us the 2 Trumps. And so the clone of Trump will be removed because they showed us that in the movie The Prestige. We'll go over all of Nolan's pertinent movies in just a second. So, and we also know that Trump is Batman. We're going to go over that, how he tells us he's Batman from his own YouTube site. So that's his own camera, his own production. And we're going to show you Batman Contagion, which is what's going on now, which is actually the corona, the crowning of the Antichrist. So, and then we will also zero in specifically on this movie also. But let me see if I had one more thought. I'm sorry. That's what I was telling y'all. Is that the Antichrist, in order for it to be the mark of the beast, the Antichrist has to be in the third temple, declaring himself to be God, blaspheming the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and or / Jesus, along with a false prophet that makes fire flash down from heaven to the earth and the side of man, along with an image of the beast that speaks. And you must worship the beast and the image of the beast. You must make an image to the beast and worship it. And or worship the image of the beast, which we're going over right now in my Facebook daily Bible studies. Come find me on Facebook. Same name, drop the Roman numeral. And we're going over Daniel 3, how Nebuchadnezzar's built a golden image, and it's like worship it or die. So it's a precursor to what's coming. So if they pass out this vaccine, they go, oh, you better take this vaccine or you're not gonna be able to buy and sell. That's what they equate it to, buying and selling, as if that's the only Bible verse that tells you that it's mark of the beast time, buying and selling, which it's ridiculous. So there's going to be lying signs and wonders. God's going to hand the whole world over to a strong delusion. There's not going to be a choice. All goats will be handed over to the deception, just like I see a lot of reprobate minds already in this QAnon cult. Now, that doesn't mean that somebody in the QAnon cult isn't just a lost sheep. Okay? They very well could be. You know, God can... He takes the worst of us. He puts us through this bad road we go down before he put, like I was way into astrology and all that kind of stuff before he pulled me out of the world. I was a Catholic, astrologer, all that stuff. But 99.9% of the world is a goat. I would say 99.999 of the QAnon cult is reprobate. They're goats. And I don't know where I was going with that. I'm trying to focus on the mark of the beast, so you know it's the mark of the beast. But yeah, it's not a vaccine. So let's just move on. Let's get to... I went through this in every place. This is a gentleman giving a synopsis. He's called Cinema Blend. He's got 155,000 subscribers. I might as well sub to him. And let's start at the 22-second mark. If you go more than 7 seconds, they can give you a copyright strike. They can even shut you down. So I just need to be careful with what I'm doing.
His latest project just screams Nolan. Life after death, rewinding time, saving the world. Today on All Things Tenet.
I want you to listen that closer this time, now that I've got the screen blown up. All Things Christopher Nolan. This is your Antichrist he's describing. Because that's what the movie's about. It's about Donald Trump.
Project just screams Nolan. Life after death, rewinding time, saving the world.
Life after death, the Antichrist receives a deadly wound by the sword, but did live. I have got to give you all the visuals on that. I apologize. Let's just make sure that we go through those Bible verses. Some of y'all might be new. Remember, he is the beast out of the sea. I'm going to set up, stand out of the sea, and a beast rise up out of the sea. So Donald Trump is the beast out of the sea. And in the movie Jaws, I showed y'all where he threw the 666 when he was describing the shark. Hooper. And I saw as if one of his heads were wounded to death and his deadly wound was healed. Worship the first beast, that's one out of the sea, whose deadly wound was healed. It's a deadly wound that's healed. He's back, folks. He's back, risen from the dead. Rebirth. I showed you all that with the, I think, Donald Trump Antichrist Part 13. Image to the beast, which had a wound by the sword, but did live. So it's there for you 3 times, okay? God, I'm sorry. My washer. One more time. Let's make sure I've turned this up loud for you too. Well, this is a horrible presentation I'm giving you today, isn't it? I'm not a professional.
James Nolan. Life after death, rewinding time, saving the world.
Life after death, rewinding time. Now, what was all of the, remember, Back to the Future, time travel. Donnie Darko, time travel. Donnie Darko stood for Donald Darkness. We've gone all through that. Remember, this is Donald Trump Antichrist Part 19. Please watch parts 1 through wherever we end up. I've got a playlist. It's on my playlist. Plus, there's tons of other videos, like 10 other videos I've added to it that all speak to Donald Trump being the Antichrist. I wonder what that word is in gematria. Seriously. M-A-G-N-E. Viking. We'll get to that in a little bit. M-A-G-N-E. Viking. That's Vi, and then the word king, by the way. All right, next up, the 1 minute mark.
Going backwards and he's dead. Is it like zombie Doctor Who? I don't see. And he's dead. Is it like zombie Doctor?
I didn't go back far enough. Oh, it's the 1 minute mark. I'm sorry. For some reason I was at 110.
Welcome to the afterlife.
Okay, so welcome to the afterlife, for starters. Okay? Because he's risen from the dead. Now, the actor that's playing Trump this particular time is named John David Washington. John, that's Trump's middle name. And or John, the writer of the End Times Book of Revelation, which we were just in, chapter 13. David, Jesus, remember John David, Trump David. John David, think of Donald Trump David, because Trump's middle name is John. So John David, Jesus is from the seed of David. I forget exactly how that Bible verse goes. Let me find it for you exactly. It's Revelation 22:16, the last chapter of the last book of the Bible. There's only like 5 verses left, I think. I think it ends at 22:21. I, Jesus, have sent mine angel to testify unto you these things in the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David and the bright morning star. And of course, their star is Sirius, the dog star. And so his name is John David, Trump David. Jesus is the offspring of David and or of the seed of David. So that's the actor. And this is Denzel Washington. So you know Denzel is very, very deep into their world. You cannot be famous if you are not of their world, in their world. Not just a toe, all in when you're that famous. Especially high-end politics or high-end Hollywood or high-end music industry. I mean, you are deep into Satan, Lucifer. Lucifer is the female transgendered version of Satan. All right, let's keep going. So his name is John David Washington. Of course, last name is Washington. Washington, D.C., the District of Columbia. Columbia is the goddess of America. It is Lucifer. All of your goddesses are of Lucifer, the female version of Satan. Remember, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of all harlots, referred to as a she. Remember, their Baphomet, the horned goat, has female breast. All right, let's keep going.
Welcome indeed. And I know what you're thinking. Just tell me what's going on in this
Remember, I can't go too long or I'll get a copyright strike.
movie. Honestly, at first, I had no idea either. Time is going backwards
Time is going backwards.
and he's dead. Is it like zombie Doctor Who?
Time is going backwards. He's dead. Or is he dead? Or something. I forget what he said.
Backwards and he's dead. Is it like zombie Doctor Who? I don't see. Get it, David Tennant?
All right. Anyway, let's go to the next. 121.
Game for everyone. I'm not kidding. Even IMDb synopsis reads more like
IMDb synopsis, it has changed, but at one time, this is what it said when it first originally came out and posted on IMDb. An action epic revolving around international espionage, time travel. That's what I was getting to. Donnie Darko and Back to the Future. Back to the Future 2, they admitted, the writer, director, producers, they all said they based the Biff character off of Donald Trump. It even had, you're fired in the movie. Remember all the pieces of paper that ran off the printer saying, you're fired. That's all Trump's done since he's been president, is firing people, and that's what he did, all predictive programming on his TV show, The Apprentice. Remember, the first level of the secret society of their world is entered apprentice. So people think Trump's not of them. Of course Trump is of them. All right. I mean, he is parts of all of those secret societies. So time travel, Back to the Future, and evolution, which of course we know is fake, possibly about a man trying to prevent what? World War III. What will Trump actually be doing when he returns from the deadly wound? He will be ending World War III. How do we know there is a World War III? Revelation 6. Remember, Revelation is written in sections. The Antichrist is in Revelation 17, 13, and 6. Revelation 6, he is there as the rider of the white horse, part of the four horses of the apocalypse. It is the crowning or corona that we're going through right now. And right after that is war, famine, death. So I imagine as soon as Trump receives, or his clone receives, this deadly wound, we're going to get World War III, then famine, and then the last horse, the pale horse, says death due to the war and the famine over 1/4 of the earth. It means 1 out of every 4 people are going to be dead. So if you live in a household of 8 people, think of half your family's dead after this war is over with. Now, of course, we know that some places will be worse than others. I will guarantee you it'll be worse in the United States than anywhere, because they have to break this country down the most, because it's the most educated into this whole phenomenon. Even though the Christianity is basically fake, I would say the United States, I could be wrong, but I would say you have to break down the United States, because the whole world's going to be broken from the war. It's just going to be brought to its knees. And you don't really need it to be any certain situation, because God sends them a strong delusion. So they're going to be handed over to it no matter what it is. But I would imagine, since most of your so-called Christians are here in the United States, Bible believers, even though they're all the churches now are Catholic, because they celebrate the Christ Mass, the pagan Easter, the pagan Christ Mass, and they teach free will, which is totally Catholic. And I prove that in my Bible studies. And if that comes as a shock to you because you're hearing it for the first time, come to my Bible studies, go to my playlist, and watch the 4-part playlist where I really, really prove that Martin Luther hated free will, and he's who began the protest movement against Catholicism. So trying to prevent World War III is what the guy in the movie's doing, but of course it will be after World War III that he actually rises. Remember, in The Dark Knight Rises, when Bruce Wayne, Donald Trump, the billionaire from Gotham City, New York City, who's fighting crime, like QAnon, he's fighting crime, children under the city in both Dark Knight Rises and with this QAnon cult, this children under the city that Trump is saving, that Batman ended up saving. So when he disappeared in the movie, the American flags were shown shredded. And there was a complete takeover of evil in the world. So, which was Bane and all of them, and Gotham. And remember, Gotham is the land where goats dwell. All right, next up, let's go to the 121. We're already there. Let's finish.
A question, possibly about a man trying to prevent World War III through time travel and rebirth.
Rebirth, literally rebirth, which is exactly what James Bond said when asked what his hobby was. I think that's part 13 or 14. What is your hobby? And he said resurrection, and he had a wound over his right eye. You cannot make it up, because the Antichrist has a deadly wound over, actually, at his right eye in Zechariah 11:17, I believe it is. It's not the worthless shepherd, it's the something shepherd, though, but which Jesus is the shepherd, so it's the anti-Jesus. Woe unto the, let me see, next up is 2:11. And we'll get to that verse in a minute once we get out of all these YouTubes. I want to enlarge the screen, though, and I can't go back and forth. Rats.
Test for the main character in which he dies and is reborn.
Dies and is reborn. Pepperidge Farm? Are you kidding me, right? How easy is this to see?
As a spy for some secret organization charged with stopping the next World War.
There you go. What do you know? Stopping the next World War.
The Holocaust.
No.
She's going to say it's worse. It's going to be worse than World War III or something. Let me see.
Something worse.
Something worse. We'll break it up again and listen to it.
Stopping the next World War.
The Holocaust.
Nuclear holocaust. No, something worse.
No. Something worse.
All right, so I think that was it, even though I had 220. I think it was through 224.
Coronavirus. Of course.
Okay. So, and he does mention coronavirus. This guy does notice that, which is the crowning. Corona means crown. The Antichrist, the rider on the white horse, receives a crown was given unto him. So that's what's taking place right now. We're going to show you that. I think we got one more to do here, though.
Film might take place at sea.
The movie takes place, most of the movie takes place at sea, and Trump is what? The beast out of the sea.
That a decent amount of the film might take place at sea.
A decent amount of the film might take place at sea. All right, so we went over that. John David Washington. We were going to show you the wound over the right eye. Worthless shepherd is what always comes to my brain, but it's idle shepherd. Woe to the idle shepherd that leadeth the flock, the sword be upon his arm and upon his right eye. So something's going to happen to Trump's arm and his right eye. and his arm shall be clean dried up, and his right eye shall be utterly darkened. So maybe he loses his arm. I don't know. That'll be interesting. My subs are amazing, so they're going to come up with all kind of stuff. I know. Jamie in Louisiana. I hope I said that right. I'm bad with names. All right, so let's go to this next. Trump saying that he is Batman. This is at the Trump ownership YouTube site. And when you go to the videos, when you go to those Trump ownership, they're all about Donald Trump. All positive videos about Donald Trump. He's telling you he's Batman.
Yes. Mr. Trump,
Yes,
are you Batman?
I am Batman.
Very staged. Do these ladies know what's going on? No. They just said, hey, we're going to go ahead and video something. They just all thought it was great. Folks don't know. They don't know who he is. Most of his supporters have no idea. Does he know? Yes. You better believe he knows who he is. Batman, comic books, Contagion was a whole series. Yikes. So you get the idea. Contagion. This is when he receives his corona, his crown, all predictive programming. Christopher Nolan, who has directed all of these movies. Batman Begins, guess when it came out? The first full day after Trump was born, June 15th. He was born on June 14th. So his life began one full 24-hour period, or within 24 hours of when Trump was born, the first day bleeds into when? June 15th. Batman Begins, Trump Begins. Christian Bale plays Donald Trump in basically every movie. He played him most definitely, and I proved that, in American Psycho. Get it? Why was he called American Psycho? The movie had nothing to do with America or politics. Was he a psycho? Yes. He was a serial killer, which is what all of your top-level politicians are. They're serial killers, which the police told you. In their song Murder by Numbers. Then you've got The Prestige, all about cloning, Tesla, and of course Tesla, related to the Trump. I went all through that when you go to my Trump playlist, when you start getting into these are all crucial in my opinion. And I really and truly got better and better as I went about showing you really good pertinent information. But that part 13, Skyfall, part 14, The Horn, part 15, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, part 16, The Two Trumps, and Donald Trump Antichrist, part 17. I should have put the word Highlander there, I guess. And then, of course, part 18, which was really just an offshoot of 17. And then a postscript of 18, thanks to my subscribers, giving me great information. Then I figured out what the quickening was in part 17. So, but this will be part 19 officially. Make sure you visit them all. Then you get The Dark Knight came out. And then Inception came out, which is a very freaky movie. And of course, they've got the 88 there for it. That's interesting. 88 is Trump and Gematria. This movie was very deep. And it's such a mind bender, I wouldn't even want to try to explain it to you. But it deals with dreams. And of course, Daniel's whole book is the main focal point is Daniel 2, Nebuchadnezzar's dream that he solves and tells about the coming kingdoms. Then you've got The Dark Knight Rises. And then Tenet. So I would definitely put this movie on the top of your list. It comes out September 3rd. And see what you think. I've got a few more things to show you. Hang on just a second. Let me get them prepped up. All right, now notice he says this in the present tense, like this is going to happen, because he knows it's going to happen. And he's talking about how he's going to save the world. He's Batman.
You are behind.
Well, I haven't heard that, but
you are secretly saving the world from this satanic cult of pedophiles and cannibals.
I better pause it so I don't get a copyright strike.
Does that sound like something you are behind? Or
well, I haven't.
Saving the world.
I haven't heard that, but
you are.
Yeah, unfortunately, she ends up repeating it a few times. About 5 times, actually.
Does that sound like something you are behind? Or
well, I haven't heard that, but is that supposed to be a bad thing, or?
Oh, is that supposed to be a bad thing that I'm saving the world?
Or a good thing? I mean, if I can help save the world from.
If I can help save the world, Batman, fighting crime, saving the world.
Problems, I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to put myself out there.
Willing to put myself out there, knowing, you know, that I'm setting myself up for an assassination.
And we are actually. We're saving the world from a radical left.
We are actually. We're saving the world from a radical left
philosophy that will destroy this country. And when this country.
That will destroy this country. That will destroy this country. Did I hear all that right? Let me make sure I heard all that right. I don't want to be putting words in the dude's mouth. I'm really tired, so I'm sorry about this video.
This country, and when this country is gone, philosophy that will destroy this country, and when this country is gone, the rest of the world would follow.
And when this country is gone, all present tense, then he said the rest of the world would follow. So none of it was an if until it got to the rest of the world. But it was a definite concerning America.
The rest of the world would follow. That's the importance of this country. And when you look at.
Interesting. All right. And what else did I want to show y'all? Hang on just a quick second. By the way, Babylon King and the Joker is what it came to in Gematria. Magne, Viking. We did get the Joker. And Babylon King. Which, anyway, hang on just a quick second. Lastly, concerning this QAnon cult, Q drop 2442, you are the saviors of mankind. I mean, you do realize that these folks are handed over to their pride. Most of them all are patriots, which is all about national pride. You're not supposed to take pride in anything. I mean, you would think the thing you would have the most pride in would be what I'm about to give you. If any man come to me and hate not his father, I mean, before you love your country, aren't you supposed to be like all about father, mother, wife, children, brethren, sisters, and even your own life? You cannot be my disciple, Jesus said. Hate. Now, that's not an emotional hate. It means you got to hate on them. If they're celebrating Christmas, you got to say, nope, ain't going to do it. You got to put God first and foremost above all things. So the fact that, but these people are handed over, these people have a huge amount of pride, family pride, check, national pride, check, self-pride, check. Folks, they're the most prideful people I know, these QAnon cult members. And of course, they're handed over to it. That we know. I am the Lord. Besides me, there is no other Savior, or something to that effect. And some of these, I could probably find better Bible verses than what they found, but this is just something I saw just to kind of quickly go over it. I'm more concerned about what's written here than whether they did a good job of matching the Bible verses or not, because I guarantee these are free will fake Christians that even put this together. They don't know they're fake Christians, but all these QAnon people are definitely fake Christians. They all believe in Jesus. None of them know anything about the Bible. They're like, John 3:16, boom. The one Bible verse that's the most falsely translated by the Catholic Erasmus, who believed in free will, and Martin Luther, who began the protest Reformation, hated free will. But Erasmus, of course, is what? He's the one that transcribed the original Greek scriptures over to what is known as the received text, Textus Receptus, it is called. T-E-X-T, text, U-S, Textus Receptus. And it is what they used when they wrote the King James, which was also written by half Catholics. And God was perfect in the way that he took the Greek language of that time and made it the language, because there's more definitions per word. In other words, there's more chances for choosing the wrong definition in the Greek language than any other language in the world. There's like 8 definitions for the word cosmos, world. For God so loved, eight definitions you could choose from that God so loved. Erasmus plugged in number 5. Number 1, the first definition is what should have been there. I prove all that to you in my, just go to playlist, not videos, but playlist. No free will, John 3:16, falsely written and taught, proof. It's a 4-video playlist set. John 3:16, false doctrine explained, free will is a lie, Bible study, tricky Bible verses explained, because people will throw certain Bible verses at you besides John 3:16. There's a few more, and I go over them extensively. Free will equals Catholicism, complete proof research that free will, anyway, it's an hour and 16 minutes. So check it out. 76 minutes. All right. Anyway, let's keep going. Have faith in humanity. Have faith in humanity. We just got through reading that you must hate your mother. The heck with humanity. Even your parents. You can't be about your parents. You got to be about God. You got to be about the Word of God. Cursed be the man that trusteth in man. Yeah, I mean, they just. The Q phenomenon is nothing more than Lucifer. By the way, Q is the ghost in the machine. What's that? Mysteries. Ever. The ghost in the machine. AI is the ghost in the machine. MOTB stands for Mark of the Beast. That's a 3-video playlist. The first one is Artificial Intelligence, the ghost in the machine, Mark of the Beast. The second one is Lucifer, the ghost in the machine. The third one is The Image That Speaks, The Voice. Remember the TV show The Voice? Ooh, that's a good. It's one of my favorite ones I've ever done. It's very deep, very deep. Obviously, the first one, I love that one too. And the one on Lucifer from the movie Lucy. Very well done. You're going to love them. Trust me. Let's keep going. Sheep no more. Sheep no more. Folks, the sheep are the church. He's literally saying, church no more. And the QAnon people go, well, they just mean the sheep, the people that I know what they mean and what they say. You don't understand at the deeper level what they're saying to you, right in your face. You don't even know it. You're making an excuse for them. On the one hand, there are those who merit the kingdom of heaven, for by grace, unmerited favor, you are saved through faith. It is not of yourselves. It is the gift of God. You better believe it. You better believe it. It's God ordaining you at the foundation of the world. It is not even of free will. Humanity is good. Oh, that's an excellent one. There is none righteous, no, not one. That's actually Romans. That's actually Romans 10. They said Romans. It's Romans 3, 10, and 11. They got Romans 3, 19 through 12. It's not what it is. It's Romans 3, 10, and 11. There's none good. There's none righteous. There's no one that seeketh after God. As it is written, there is none righteous, no, not one. There is none that understandeth. There is none that seeketh after God. Humanity is good. It's ridiculous. POTUS is our savior. I don't even think I need to say a word there, do I? Thank you. Sheep follow blindly. No, actually, they're as wise as serpents and as harmless as doves. They're given the holy spiritual discernment. Think for yourself, for who have known the mind of the Lord, instruct him, but we have the mind of Christ. Yeah. So anyway, you get the idea. QAnon is a cult. It is a deeply satanic cult. And what I was telling you was, when I went to this, was QAnon is the ghost in the machine. That's Satan, literally. Literally, that is Satan. And I absolutely, positively will prove that to you beyond any doubt in part one. But if you go through all three parts, you'll punch a QAnon person right in the... No, I'm just kidding. Never want to punch anybody. We are harmless as doves, right? All right, folks. As always, there will always be something I feel like I forgot. I don't monetize my channel. I have a job, so I'm blessed in that way like that. If I ever lost my job through not taking a vaccine or something, who knows? Cross that bridge when I get to it. But my point is that artificial intelligence is actually parallel universe dimensional. And they tell you that. And then later on, he talks about it being this guy here sits there and he works for the D-Wave quantum computer, and he sits right there and he tells you. And he refers to aliens and demons, and then just says, oh, they don't want to hurt you any more than you would want to hurt an ant. So, same guy. See, Kindred written, that's the company he works for. Snake eating its tail. Kindred, think about kindred spirits. That's the company that he was working for. D-Wave quantum computer. They get into all this artificial intelligence, and he's telling you that it is of entities that they're not real sure about. Trust me, they know exactly what they are. But they think it's a good thing. They can't wait to let the fallen angels come and take over. And because they've been led to believe that the Bible is fake, and that they hate the God of the Bible, that he's an egomaniac. And they point to certain Bible verses in the Old Testament and go, look at that. You know, so because they don't know what any of them are about, none of them are put into context. I saw somebody the other day, they talked about slavery. Oh, it was Bill Maher, because I listen to Bill Maher to see, because he drops a lot of Batman references, and I like to see what he says about Trump because he does a lot of predictive programming. You know, he pretends to hate Trump, but they all love Trump. Don't ever let any of that fool you. Nancy Pelosi, when she ripped up that that speech right in front of Trump, that was all stage theatrics, folks. Come on, you all know that, right? Sure you do. But what did Bill Maher say? I lost my train of thought. I got brain fog. I don't remember what I was talking about, Bill Maher. Couldn't think of it. I did. I'd already done this before. I didn't see much, but I might as well show you all too. When you do tenet gematria, it does have goddess, which of course, that's why Trump's got the upside down pyramid of 6 by 6 by 6 bushes. It's all about the goddess, the Lucifer, you know, the mother goddess, Queen of Heaven, Queen of the Universe, Mother Nature, which is why the Georgia Guidestones, First Commandment and the Last Commandment both speak to nature. It's all about nature. Iron Man, of course, iron mixed with clay. That's what man will be when he takes the mark. He will be what? He'll be Iron Man. Because it's the iron mixing with the miry clay. It's the machine. It's uploading the demons into your body with the 5G technology. It is man mixing with machine is the final kingdom. It is the mark of the beast. So you literally are Iron Man. And it's the demons that burn forever when you take the mark. Man doesn't have eternal life unless he gets it through the Lord. Genesis, even though I don't think Genesis, the book of the Bible, is spelled that way. I'm a terrible speller, by the way. Genesis in the Bible, it's Gene Sis, if I remember. Yeah, that's got an I in it. This is Tenet, by the way. In gematria, Joe Biden. Yeah. I think that's the initials for God, Yahweh. Israel. Ooh, that's interesting. So goddess and Israel, I would say, are very telling concerning the word tenet. Along with Zion. YAHUAA. Spell that right? As per what they had. Okay, so it's another name for the Lord. Just making sure that was how you spelled it, Yahuwah. All right. And Yahweh. So it's got both. Interesting. All right. Thank y'all very much. I love you.